Hello and welcome to another wrap-up episode of Who Would Win Masters. Last week was Veterans Day, and who better to step up to the challenge than the man of Star-Spangled Spandex facing off against a man of Emerald Chaos and Rebellion. Today we're reading your comments and reviews. I'm Sam Proof on all the socials, and we're going to see how you voted and what you had to say about Captain America versus Green Arrow. Our guest for this episode was actor, comedian, superfan Steve Moulton, repping the cap, and he's back with us just in time, wearing the shirt for this wrap-up episode. Steve, welcome back. How you doing? It's late
Thank you for
my
having me
friend.
back. I hope my microphone's working. I didn't get a chance to test it with the system.
We had zero test time, zero prep time, so it's good. That all sounds like
we fly by
words.
the seat of our pants on the Who Would Win Masters show.
But I'm wearing shorts.
How dare you, sir? You're not even here yet. I haven't introed you.
I haven't been introduced. I don't exist. I'll go back behind the curtain.
Fine, we'll get right into it. All right, repping the Green Arrow, a man who goes green when Sam's decision doesn't go his way. I'm talking about the one and only Ray Stacanis, who normally can be found demanding Dairy Queen workers turn the damn blizzard upside down, so help me God, quote unquote. But he's found his way to being with us today, even though the sky is falling in Los Angeles. Welcome, Ray. How's it going? You made it.
Oh, hello, Sam Proof. Thank you
How's
for
it
introducing
going?
me.
There you go.
Yeah, it's great. Well, Los Angeles is a nightmare right now. It's Death Storm 2025 happening out there.
Rain for days.
We were supposed to start recording this an hour earlier than we are because I'm sitting there at start time on the freeway, not moving, wondering if I'll ever get home.
Yeah.
That stinks.
Yeah, it was bad. There was
Ray,
panic
you're wearing
in the
the perfect t-shirt for this.
That's right. I was looking through my closet, wondering to myself, what would be the best shirt to wear today? And I saw my Dan Flash's shirt, and I said, well, why would I not wear Dan Flash's for I Think You Should Leave, Steve Moulton?
Oh, thanks, man.
Matthew Dawson says,
it's got complicated patterns.
Very
Steve.
complicated.
Does Ray own other shirts? No, Matthew. No, he does not.
No, I knew you'd be here and you'd be
make.
upset by it, Matthew Dawson. You got to understand, Steve, I wore this shirt for the first time on the show maybe a month or two ago.
Yeah?
And I said, oh, it's my Dan Flash's shirt. And not a single person in the audience, not a single person on the show. No one knew what I was even talking about. And they acted like I was some weird pariah doing a bit no one understood. And I'm like, well, Steve gets it.
I get it, and I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. See, a man with sense on this show. That's what we're missing. Sorry, Sam.
Jeez. I mean, I could show myself off. Wow.
Sam, I like your shirt, too.
Hey, thank you. It's very sensible. I have nothing flashy going on whatsoever, and my cat has joined us.
Aw.
Speaking of joining us, all of our friends over in the behind-the-scenes chat are here again. Matthew Dawson and Lord Snurts, and you could have been here if you just joined us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month over at patreon.com/whowouldwinshow. You could be right here giving Ray flack about his shirt. Give him a little guff. All right. Matthew Dawson says, you should have been here. That's right. And Snurt says, what a deal. That's fair. I mean, could you ask for more for $1? No. Can't even get a Snickers for $1
Seems like the best purchase in entertainment that you could possibly have.
Yes. Or
This
an
is
assault
fun.
to your eyes that you pay for. I don't know. It's the same.
I didn't know we were going to have fans in the chat. This is new for me. I like it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We started this
Now,
just
look,
a
for the
couple months
low
ago.
price of 1/3 of a McDonald's hash brown a month, you can get all this content.
I think
Is
that
a
is
single
a fair
hash brown
rating
really
system.
$3 right now? Oh my God.
$3.49, actually, Steve Moulton. I was
that
not
accurate?
giving it enough credit.
Oh my
Holy
That is
crap.
gosh.
That's the saddest thing. How many Subway
Seems
cookies
absurd.
is that?
Just
That
don't
is
know.
just sad. That is, yeah. That's the accurate method of weighing this value, I believe, though.
But we're not here to talk about hash brown, Sam Proof. We're here to talk about the battle that was Captain America versus Green Arrow. And we have one review about the show.
Okay. All right. But you know what? If I could take a sidestep before we get into that, I do
Oh my God, I'm trying to push the show along. What are we doing?
No, this is important. I do want to
Okay,
say
I believe
that
you.
we just launched our own YouTube channel just for Masters.
Cool.
So you should all go to youtube.com/@whowouldwinmasters and join us there. There's going to be all of our archives are going up. Everything going forward is going to be going up there as well. There's a ton of posts on the YouTube posts and YouTube community page. And if you've got thoughts on 1v1s or gauntlets or show reviews and stuff, you put them over at youtube.com/@whowouldwinmasters/community, and you can do that on mobile or desktop. And we will read those as well in the future
How about that?
on new episodes. All right. Now we can.
No, I would also point out
start
that
reading
the
those
@,
things.
is very important there.
For right now, it is. Yes.
youtube.com/@whowouldwinmasters. Do I understand how anything works and why there's an @ symbol in there? No, I do not. But it's there, and you need it to get to the thing.
Matthew Dawson says subscribed. Thank you, Matthew
Well, thank
Dawson.
you, Matthew Dawson.
Welcome to the
How about
fold.
that?
All right, now go comment on all the videos.
That would help a lot.
We need
Thank you.
love.
Do
We
it,
need some
Dawson.
love over there. All right. All right, let's get into it. Let's do reviews. Or
Okay,
review. I like that it says Sam will start, but there's just the one.
just one. But Sam will
So
do
I
it.
will also end the reviews.
That's right.
All right, copyrighted issue 2. And I guess this is a kind of a throwback. Goes Blade 1 easy. Can you do an episode of Ash Ketchum? I don't know how to write it. Parenthetical. It very looks like ketchup right there. Verse Saitama. Parenthetically says, yes, I did write it, so Ray can read it. Saitama is how you say it, by the way. I don't know if I'm saying it the right way now that I've said it out loud. Please, I will watch it and download it.
Yeah, he spelt it phonetically. What did he say? S-I-T-A.
T-A-M-A.
So it's Saitama or
Saitama? God
Saitama.
dang it.
Like, honestly, that didn't help my phonetics.
No, it
I'm not
didn't.
going to lie. I still don't
I
know.
butchered it. If you can get past the dyslexia filter, then you've done it right, but you haven't.
We'll never know. We'll never know at all.
Snert says the saga continues. Thank you, Snert.
That's all true. But we got results. We went on Patreon and we did a vote. We
Yeah.
asked the people. Now, this is very interesting because, as you may well be aware if you listen to this show, the fine folks over at the Mortalverse Audio Dramas Discord, because they have a Discord for Mortalverse,
They do.
which is very exciting. Everyone should be there. They have their own vote where they try to predict who's going to win the show based on characters.
Yeah.
And I realize this now. This is something I've recently discovered. They vote before the show comes out. So this is very much a Who Would Win Fantasy League version 2. Great call, Matthew Dawson. You're predicting who's going to win, I believe, based on character. I don't think they say who's repping who. And maybe that would help you
if they
vote.
know that at that point.
Yeah, I like that. Prizes. He says there's going to be prizes at the end of the season.
Ooh.
We'll try to get a link in here for the Mortalverse Discord. Matthew Dawson, if you could send that to me in some method or another, messenger that over to me, a link. I'll put it in the show notes of this show. That would be very, very helpful. But I don't want to say it. You tell me, Sam. First off, the Patreon. Oh, okay. First off, do the Mortalverse Discord so we can see what they predicted, and then we can do the actual
the
who would
official
win Patreon and get the actual vote. That seems fair.
Maybe going forward, we should just have Matthew Dawson every Sunday night do a quick 30-second video where he sends in the results. We play that, and then we do the big reveal. But yes, all right, so the Mortalverse Discord poll for Captain America versus Green Arrow, which this doesn't count. This is not the official anything. This is just their
unofficial. A guess.
They're voting with their hearts with 100% of the vote. So it's just one person voting is my guess. Captain America.
This was a double-digit people tuning in for this one, Sam. I'll have you know.
Really?
And they all voted for Captain America. What happened?
Every single one of them. Captain America. Look at that. All right.
I love
and
you
now
guys.
the official. There you go. Steve's like, am I on that Discord? Are you over there? Did you vote already on that one?
No, I only voted on the Patreon. I think
All
I've
right.
used Discord maybe once in my whole life.
Yeah, I'm not big into Discord. I get it.
All right. The official vote for the Who Would Win Masters Patreon of Captain America versus Green Arrow. Do we have a drum roll effect this week? Probably not.
We never seem to. The drum roll on Riverside is broken. I will have to make my own.
With 87% of the votes, the people have voted for Green Arrow. That means 13%
How about that? Thank you.
for Captain America. Sorry, Steve. Congratulations, Ray.
Congrats, Ray.
Yeah.
I felt good about that one. I felt good about that battle. I was a little nervous going into it. I knew that it was Veterans Day. There was high expectations for Captain America, and I knew I had to bring a little extra. And some would argue I ran up the score.
I'm honestly shocked that it is as high, a difference as it is.
Especially for Veterans Day episode.
Yeah, I feel like Cap is such a beloved character. I think the argument for Green Arrow is very well laid out. I thought the argument for Cap was very well laid out. So I feel like this would have been a closer vote. It's a little shocking to see. But grappling hook arrows aside, congratulations.
Congrats, Ray.
Strong point. Thank you. Now we have to get into the meat of where people were talking about this. We have comments. We have a lot of comments this week from Facebook, from Patreon, from Instagram. I pulled one off the Discord of Mortalverse, So we have a lot of stuff to talk about, and I'll start us off with the first one because I know we have a lot to get through today. So the very first comment comes from Steve Moulton.
Hey, you can't make this guy read his own comment?
Well, he doesn't have it in front of him. I didn't prep this well, but he says the fact that the real Green Arrow hasn't commented yet to admit that he would definitely lose is nothing short of insulting. If he wants to maintain his reputation as the last good billionaire, he needs to chime in and bow out. But unfortunately, he did not. That did not happen.
Shame on you, Oliver Queen.
It's a real bummer.
Yeah.
I feel terrible.
I mean, it just proves there are no good billionaires. That's what it is.
I mean, that's what some people say.
We've learned a valuable lesson here today. All right, moving on. And he's here in chat. Matthew Dawson.
We're hitting everybody. This was not planned. Everybody who's with us has all their comments up front. That's crazy.
Listen, if you show up in chat or are a guest, immediately somehow through magic, I suppose, you are the top of the list. Wasting 2 points on popularity and luck was just the start of a few critical errors that led to the Cap's loss. Using MCU Cap versus a comic book version of Ollie left even more on the table. If this were a high school prom king vote, maybe Steve would have won this debate. But this was a brawl, and you need a lot more than sold-out T-shirts at Disneyland to win one of those.
Hey, I got this T-shirt at Disneyland.
It's a good T-shirt, for the record.
Thanks.
Steve, do you have anything to say for yourself with Matthew Dawson, who, by the way, loves your shirt?
Thanks, Matthew. And you know what? I love your very cogent point that you made in that comment there. I'll fully admit, I didn't do a great job of representing Captain America. When I thought up the silver bullet of the elevator fight, I kind of rested on my laurels a little bit after thinking up that one and writing down my notes and deciding what to say and where. I'm still kicking myself in my own butt because I forgot to paraphrase a really awesome line from the movie. At the beginning of the episode, I was going to say, Ray, before we begin, is there any chance you'd like to log off? But I forgot to say that.
That would have been good.
I was going to throw in a few other good jokes and stuff, get the people on my side. But I was too nervous, This is my first time competing and not just judging. And, as a C- and D student, I think that came across in the way I handle myself in this debate just now. And
I would ask
a
question, Steve.
Yeah.
This came up quite a few times. What caused you to, because I went with the comic book version of Green Arrow. I was expecting you to go with the comic book version. What made you go with the movie version, who arguably is a weaker character?
That's fair. And honestly, it's probably just because I've seen those movies so many times. Every bit of info from those movies is just pretty darn fresh in my brain. And I think when I started brainstorming, I just, perhaps absentmindedly, just kind of glommed onto the movie stuff and didn't think that, I should really dig deeper into the comic book stuff. I also was still perhaps foolishly under the impression that we would be stating which version we'd be using at the beginning of our talk. I don't know if we clearly stated that. So I guess I just put myself in. MCU Cap has this handled already. I don't even need to worry about Captain America comic book factoids. I definitely don't need to worry about any Saturday morning cartoon facts. I can just do this. Me and Chris Evans got this, baby. And well, it turned out that Chris Evans didn't even answer my calls. And I didn't got this, baby.
Well, next, maybe we should run this back next year. You could take the movie version, and I would take the television show version, which if I would have known you were going for the movie, we should have been clearer, I imagine. Had I known you were going with the movie version, maybe I would have bumped it down to that one.
That's perfectly all right,
but
man.
You know what? The show happened. It is what it is.
It is what it is. I didn't do the right research, and that's okay. I mean I'm choosing to just give myself that's okay. I'm letting me off the hook.
Sometimes that is okay.
This Thanksgiving, I'm letting me off the hook.
That's right. It's like the great philosopher Sun Tzu once said.
Yes.
It be like that sometimes.
That's right. That's accurate.
It do, Sun Tzu.
Matthew Dawson says, take the Mortalverse version of Green Arrow. So,
ooh, that's right. I mean, maybe that's the thing. That is a challenge. I'm going to read the next one here. This is from Lord Snurts, also in the chat. We did not plan that. That's just how it worked out. Crazy. Steve had great energy, but missed the mark. Ray nailed the target. If you're going MCU Cap, then I'd bring up Mjolnir. Good point. It might get dismissed as a one-off, but that would have to be explained eating into Ray's time. The vote tally on Mortalverse was 100% Cap, so I foresee Ray gloating. I don't gloat on this show. I just tell the truth and feel good about it.
And hey, apparently I need to check in with the Mortalverse more often. If they're voting 100% Captain America, that sounds like my kind of verse.
It's a good verse.
I mean, yeah,
it's a very good verse.
I don't know if Mjolnir would have been dismissed. I think that's a valid point. If you're going MCU,
he was
all right.
He was what's the word I'm looking for? He was noble enough to lift it in that moment and forever afterwards. So I feel like it takes a lifetime of good-hearted deeds for something like that to happen, and it doesn't feel like a one-off now that I'm thinking about it. I should have been thinking about it in the hours leading up to us recording that episode, but now that I'm thinking about it, the stuff I just said.
Does that change the needle at all? Who knows?
Who knows?
Right, let's move on. Monroe Knoll says Cap beat the dog bleep out of Hawkeye on multiple occasions, but look at these clowns cherry picking his one win or his one W to try to give Green Arrow a shot. Cut that out. Cap closes distance and stomps. Cap cracks him with the shield, throws distance, and stomps. I don't know if that's a weird copy and paste issue or
it feels like a poem.
It probably is.
It feels like poetry.
How they did it.
That came off our Facebook page. And then the very next one I have here is a reply to that comment. That's why I thought this was a lot of fun.
Great.
Because then Marcus Teague follows up with, hey, Monroe Neal, my scan of evidence and logical reasoning is greater than your laugh react and simplified response. Back up your claims or don't comment. The number one challenge here is Cap closing the distance from a guy who could shoot a car-exploding arrow from nearly a mile's distance. And the fact Green Arrow shoots more arrows and more diverse arrows than Hawkeye, i.e. Green Arrow is a superior and more difficult and more skilled archer with better equipment. Say Cap miraculously dodges an arrow by 3 feet or blocks with his shield. That arrow will have acid strong enough to melt his shield or cause him to stumble and trip as the ground suddenly disappears in his step, or he gets encased in ice and can't move, or the explosion sends him flying. Green Arrow doesn't need a direct hit to be effective. Cap will have to magically, is this what I sound like? Cap will have to magically dodge these kinds of AoE arrows again and again and again and again and again over a dozen times before he manages to reach Green Arrow, who is also a master martial artist and able to parkour his way to keep distance rather than standing still. You have no reasonable grounds to stand on. If Cap wins this, he'll need to be incredibly lucky because this is a long uphill battle for him.
Can I rebut that briefly? Delightful. Can I rebut that very briefly? Because what his argument is presupposing is that Green Arrow is going to just randomly spot Captain America from a distance and just think, I need to start shooting arrows at that guy immediately. No, they're going to meet, they're going to talk a little, and then for some reason in their conversation, that's when they're going to decide they have to fight. And at that point, the distance is already closed. Cap just has to keep it closed. So while he made a lot of good points, he seemed to completely overlook the fact that, like, they're both good guys. They don't just open fire as soon as they see one another. They're gonna chit chat for a little while, and then, as superheroes quite frequently do, they're gonna figure out a reason for fisticuffs, and they're gonna get down to it, and then Cap would win.
I think that would have been a very valid point in the actual debate.
Well,
that might have been the silver bullet.
Maybe.
It's a tough chair to sit in, Sam Proof.
That's true.
It is.
It's true.
Showing the path to victory is I think 50% of the game right there.
Mm-hmm.
But, the other 50% is what Snurts just did in the chat, which is just scream, nerds! That's about right.
And we deserve it. I like what Matthew just said. Counterpoint, Cap yanks the goatee off Oliver Queen's chin. I like that idea. And this is coming from a bearded man.
All right. Next up, Falcon Arrow. And he's got Arrow in his name, so he knows what he's talking about. Says, I love Green Arrow. Sure. However, Cap stomps him.
I love it.
Short and sweet.
Come on, Falcon Arrow, get your poop together. Christian Morrison then says, Green Arrow has literally held his ground with guys like Batman and Deathstroke. Cap took an L before to Hawkeye once, and even Daredevil has held his ground against Cap more than once. Things that make you go.
Very good points.
Yeah.
Very good points.
All right. Carl Wiggins.
Carl
says, depends on if GA knows that Cap's shield defies the laws of physics. His only chance is to keep Cap at a distance. The most likely scenario is Cap lobs his shield at Green Arrow, who dodges it and then tries to shoot down a defenseless Cap. GA then gets clobbered from behind as the shield returns to Cap.
Ooh.
I mean,
I can picture that in my mind movies right now.
Yeah, I would watch that movie.
Yeah, I guess.
Followed up by a few people randomly on Facebook when we posted and asked the people what they thought. A common thing a few people wrote was just Cap. Now, I don't know if they mean Captain America or if this is the current slang vernacular calling us liars, like we didn't really do the battle. We really did the battle. I would say no Cap.
No Cap. I was going to say, did you reply to all of these comments with no Cap?
We've all got to start communicating more clearly now.
And then the link.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough because now I consider Captain America to be a liar.
Whoa.
And I don't want to think that about Steve Rogers because I don't think he is one.
I don't think so.
Everybody's calling him Cap all the time.
I mean, he picked up the hammer. I don't think he's a liar. All right.
I'm calling Cap on Cap. I mean, what are we doing?
Wow. All right. Damian Shelton says Green Arrow in a Lowe's parking lot, Cap in a bathroom. And the cat's in something with the silver spoon. What? This is sad.
No, honestly, I see what he's saying there, and I think he's right. Thank God we fought in a Lowe's parking lot.
Apparently we did. I think it's...
I've been to a Lowe's parking lot.
Yeah. I'm in one at least once a week, you know, and I mean, a Lowe's parking lot, it's spacious. It's got a lot of different things for Green Arrow to jump onto, to hide behind. Yeah, he's got a better chance in a Lowe's parking lot than in a bathroom.
Should we do a version of the show where, like, halfway through, we just do a Shazam move? And I don't mean the superhero, where we just, like, throw out, like, a wild card of, like, oh, by the way, you're in a Lowe's parking lot.
Whoa.
You're at the edge of a volcano.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I've seen Who Would Win style shows do that before. And I could say beyond a shadow of a doubt, it does not work.
No?
I think it would work for a live
Not even a
stream.
little bit.
If we were doing it live and just as the show's going, the chat room has the ability to vote, and by a certain point, whatever their vote is what the fact is. I think that would be interesting. For our format, I think it fails.
I think for our format, it fails. I think if we did more improvisational, more audience sort of, yeah, I think you're right. If the audience was more involved in the show process, there's a way to make that work. But I will say, just between points, just adding in a thing that doesn't make any sense is unpleasant to the listener.
What if there was a way to truly randomize it?
It does not help.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say about that. Moving on. John Vasquez says Green Arrow's a favorite, but Cap takes this. He's strong, fast. His shield puts him over the top. At base level, Cap takes this. It would be a good fight, though. Hey, well, thank you for saying it's a good fight. I thought it was.
All right. Oh, boy. David Pletz says Green Arrow tearing him up.
Wow.
Tearing him up, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? So the next one I got off the Mortalverse Discord. This is from Oscar, who had a phenomenal point. And there were a lot of comments I could have pulled, but some of the people who commented there also had already commented on like Patreon and other places. So I didn't feel the need to kind of repeat myself there. But this one was good. I like this one, and this one was what I could just pull out in a bubble. And it said, Cap's got this. Even if Oliver is a good enough marksman, you have to remember that Cap is too. Yes, Oliver has fought enhanced opponents before and can hold his own, but Cap still has the advantage. Besides, I don't think there is anything in Oliver's quiver that could potentially affect Cap's vibranium shield. Also, having given Hawkeye some additional training, I think Steve is more than capable of handling an archer. Those are good points.
I like it. I appreciate that.
Sure, fair. All right. Forbidden Mob, welcome back, says, I'm with Delvin and Eric 100%. The first 2 points should have focused on Cap's combat ability, not how popular he is. Fair. Popularity doesn't win superhero battles. The luck debate is an odd one, too. It's not a power, it's coincidence. He's not Domino or Longshot, like even the Steve said. You're the Steve now? Okay.
I'm fine with
By
that.
the final round, there was no catching up, but it was his best round. I blame nerves. It's got to be tough being in the hot seat for sure. I'm sure I might get lost in my notes or mixed up. Still an entertaining show. I was rooting for Cap. Maybe next time. Steve, come back soon. As a veteran, I really appreciate the episode. Thank you guys so much. Maybe next year. Rep Cap Ray, LOL. All right. Yeah, a little role
That was Delvin
reversal.
Cox. Thank you, Delvin.
That was Forbidden Mob.
Oh, that was Forbidden Mob?
Forbidden Mob.
I thought I heard
Was
something about Delvin.
Did agreed with
He
Delvin.
agreed
Oh,
with
he
Delvin Cox.
agreed with Delvin.
It's
Well,
weird
thank you, Forbidden
because
Mob.
he's agreeing with the next two comments that we haven't read yet. I
Yeah,
did a
yeah,
really
yeah.
good job putting this together.
It's good. Yeah, it's good.
Eric
it's,
Heiding.
It's a little flash time.
Eric, who's been on the show before, probably I should bring him back. I don't know. He did a good job. He's going into this match. I was leaning towards Captain America, but then I heard the debate. Point one, martial acts versus popularity. Martial acts wins no contest. I'm thinking all the scenes where the smaller guy beats up the big jock. For example, Peter Parker versus Flash Thompson. Point two, archery skills versus luck. If this was Domino, then this point might be valid, but it's not, so it doesn't. Point three, trick arrows versus super soldier. Now we finally have a battle. This should have been point number one for Captain America, but it wasn't, and he was too far behind at this point. I thought we'd hear about arrows versus a shield. Even a cocky guy with versus no nonsense attitude would have been good. If Green Arrow tried to talk his way into getting on Captain's nerves, Captain could just shoot him down. These battles are about what characters are capable of doing, not who is more recognizable.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fair.
I
But
definitely think we've seen a little of that in some of the other episodes as well, where we're like, people came on to talk about things that are not directly fight related, but
It's tough when you start forming, you get a good idea or something that you think you can riff off of and work with. I've been guilty of it earlier on in my who would win process. But unfortunately, you're spinning your wheels saying stuff that you like to say and hear, but don't necessarily help your case when it comes to winning a fight.
I hear you, and I appreciate that. But I think, I feel like the popularity can factor in. Look at Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson a few months ago. Remember how everybody in the world was like, yeah, Jake Paul. Yeah, beat up this beloved. I can't even keep going with this line of joking. Nobody wanted Jake Paul to win. It's okay.
No, nobody
This,
would.
this wouldn't back up my point at all.
Jake Paul knows what he does, though. I mean, guys, if you don't know the Jake Paul scam of these fights is, look, I just watched an entire video breaking down how Jake Paul scams his way through this. Jake Paul is an average to slightly above average young boxer who spent his whole life training in boxing. And if you look at who he has fought in all of these matches, it's people who are either not boxers, they're MMA stars, martial artists, and people who grapple and don't necessarily have the boxing chops because they have to learn a bunch of disciplines. Additionally, these people tend to be at least 10 to 15 years beyond their prime, and their bodies have taken a severe beating. In the case of Mike Tyson, he is a legitimate boxer at 59 years old. Wow. Yes, the young guy should beat the 59-year-old guy, who also, Mike Tyson was quoted as saying, I don't have what it takes. I don't have the heart to box anymore. And he said that. Do you know when Mike Tyson said that? 20 years before the fight with Jake Paul.
Whoa.
Yeah.
20 years. Lord. So in the one time that Jake Paul fought somebody that was a reasonable threat to him, he lost. He lost in a split decision that, quite honestly, should have been unanimous decision. We don't know what chicanery was going on with that. He got just worked by a better fighter who was physically able to match his youth and aggression. And so, look, Jake Paul he would beat up any one of us on this show right now.
Sure.
He would, if I was to get into the ring with Jake Paul, he would defeat me. It's possible. I'm not going to say right now that Jake Paul is just some bum, but he is running a scam operation for heat, for money, to get big payoffs. It's not legitimate, really.
Yeah, no,
and I look forward to the day when he fights somebody on a winning streak in his own weight class of his relative age.
Yeah.
He will lose that fight. That's all I'm trying to say.
He creates great hype. He makes sure everybody gets paid a lot. There you have it.
I mean, good on that.
Exactly.
Nobody should be watching these fights.
All right, let's wrap up this section with Delvin Cox, who said, look, everyone who knows me knows how big of a Captain America fan I am. With that being said, you can't waste your first 2 points on how great Cap is without mentioning his combat ability. That was a fatal error that made me vote for Green Arrow.
Whoa. You're letting my mistakes allow you to vote against somebody you actually like. That's wow. I'm just kidding, Delvin. I appreciate the criticism. I like Delvin Cox. He's done a lot of good episodes. You know, his comments have
Delvin Cox is everyone's hero.
His comments have quite a bit more heft in my mind. So I appreciate it.
That's fair.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back. All right, we're right back. What is this section, Ray?
Well, I want to talk about this because we had one of our shorts that we put up where I was talking about anime. And we did have a few comments on it, and I thought that they were worth having a small conversation about. And that's in regards to the Who Would Win show and the characters that we pick to do the battles. And we posted this, and it did get a little bit of reaction to it. And that's the fact is that anime characters on the show don't get listeners as much as other episodes do. And I wish
Fair.
it wasn't the case,
True.
but that's what's up. And I just had a few comments, and I'll read them. I'll just read them all here. It's fine. There's only 3 of them here that I wanted to read. Because you have Pupperson. Hi, Pupperson. Great to meet you. Thanks for checking out the show. He says, I'm shocked episodes. I don't even know if it's a he. I shouldn't assume anyone's gender. They say I'm shocked episodes with DBZ, One Piece, My Hero, and other popular anime don't do as well. I personally would love more anime and D&D content. Also need some dungeon crawler Carl. We've done D&D, I think 3 times on the show, right? We did the D&D cartoon crew.
Nice.
We did Drizzt Erden, and we did
that's a big one.
The one from Stranger Things. Yeah, whatever that thing was called.
The monster or the
Vecna.
big bad?
Vecna,
yeah, the god.
So we did Vecna. I should know that because I repped him. But we did all of those things, and I'm very very happy about it. But that's cool. But you're right. I think the Goku episodes do well. You got that.
It's funny. I actually have a thought. It wouldn't be for this show, but maybe it would be a show we could put on the network or our YouTube channel. I had this thought for a D&D related show, aside from just us playing D&D, and that would be cool. But it's kind of like, you remember that old game show, Name That Tune? Where you're like,
sure,
I can name that tune in 5 notes, and then they play 5. It would be that, but it would be a combat simulator in which we go, you have kobolds, and your big bad is an ancient red dragon. And then, the people at the podiums go, I could beat a red dragon with 500 kobolds. And then whoever takes the least amount, we play it out and see what happens. And then they fail and we laugh at them. That was my thought.
That is a live stream D&D bonanza.
Yeah. We'll have to workshop that maybe. If people are interested.
Okay. Well, when we do our live stream D&D Who Would Win Masters, we're gonna add it in.
All right.
I don't think I can defeat that red dragon with 500 kobolds. I'll be honest.
No, that's a ridiculous number.
Don't think that would happen. So we have
I
a couple more comments.
Horde action.
Well, there you go. We got M.A. Solko who says they kept making anime after Voltron. Great question.
They kept making anime after Star Blazers?
Well, Star Blazers is wonderful. Let's face it, Robotech Macross Saga is where it's at. That's the jam right there. Look, they stopped making anime in the year 2000 after Cowboy Bebop, right? Did I get that correct?
That's right.
Just made somebody really mad. Forbidden Mob in our last comment here, and he said, you think how mainstream anime is becoming around the world? I could not have said that worse. More people would listen to anime episodes. That Demon Slayer movie had record-breaking numbers. The One Piece live action was a huge success. K-pop Demon Hunters, the most successful show on Netflix to date. Maybe times are changing, and it's time to try again. I don't know. I don't blame y'all for being cautious for the sake of the show. K-pop Demon Hunters should be on this show. I should rep. Do you people at home want to see me rep the K-pop Demon Hunters? Because I love that movie. I've heard the songs roughly, conservatively, 10 billion times each in all different languages because my kid thinks it's amazing. I would love to rep the K-pop Demon Hunters on a future episode. I think you should, place a comment and say, yes, Ray, rep the K-pop Demon Hunters on Who Would Win Masters. If I can see enough people who want it, I'll do it. I'll take a chance, Forbidden Mob. I'll do it.
I mean, I think we're always going to come back to try and do an anime, versus at some point. It's not like off the table completely. But yeah, if you're out there and you want to see K-pop Demon Hunters face off, let us know. And also let us know who you think would be a fair fight.
Mighty Ducks.
Leave it in the comments.
K-pop Demon Hunters versus the Mighty Ducks. It's right there.
Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty Ducks, ladies and gentlemen.
The cartoon.
Now, is that from the cartoon show? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, not the kids.
No,
not the kids. We got to protect those kids.
The cartoon show of Mighty Ducks was phenomenal because it's a world set of humans, and in it, there's like 3 mutant giant 6-foot ducks who happen to play hockey professionally for the Mighty Ducks on national television. But additionally, there are 3 anthropomorphic 6-foot-tall ducks who are also superheroes in this world, and nobody can figure out that they're the same people, despite there only existing 3 6-foot-tall anthropomorphic ducks in this world, period.
It makes perfect sense.
All right.
I mean, cartoon logic,
Yeah.
you got to love it. We got a little bit of time here. We're talking about what Steve, you can join in here, what we're watching, what we're playing. I'll go ahead and go first. I got to update my big Sopranos update. I am rewatching The Sopranos, as I must have said in the show before. Just last night, I finished season 5. One more season to go.
Nice.
And again, I'll say watching the show with fresh eyes after 25 years or whatever it's been later, it's a different experience, especially having lived in Hollywood for the last 20 years. I see the show very differently now than I did then. It's a lot less confusing now that I'm actually like rewatching and paying attention. There was a lot of stuff I just did not understand. I understand it on a lot more levels now, especially with having a kid of my own and also being in organized crime, allegedly unproven. The point I'm trying to make is that it's a very, very good show that has a lot of flaws in it. And without Sopranos walking, Breaking Bad could not have run.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like if you're into that type of television and you have not checked it out as a younger person, it's definitely an exciting show, an interesting show. You're going to get all of your gratuity of any kind you're looking for. It's all in there. So, you know, it is a show for adults. Let me just definitely say that.
All right.
Like it.
Fair. So I always do kind of, what we've been watching with the family. I got a couple of kids, 8 and 12. So for anyone out there who has them, these are always good for you. We just watched the entire Back to the Future trilogy.
Nice.
How about that?
Yeah. And I got to say, like, for the most part, my kids were totally into it. There's that one scene where, Marty and his mom, it's a little creepy. And my youngest daughter was like, I'm going to leave the room for this. This is wrong, I think, on levels. Yeah, and I was like, you are right to leave the room and don't come back until Biff gets punched. So that was fine. But I was like, you know what? These movies really hold up. Although I definitely, in my mind, had memories that the third one was the worst one. And going back and watching them now, it's not. The first one is definitely the best one. The second one is the worst one.
The second one is the worst one, yeah.
It tries to play too close to the first one in a lot of ways. And the third one's just like, whatever, let's just go balls out. We're crazy. Like, yeah, it was really nice. So I enjoyed it. I thought those were great movies. Steve, you got anything you're watching these days?
Well, without spoiling anything, I got to see the newest episode of Stranger Things a few nights ago. And all I'm going to say is, so far, it is worth the wait. It felt great to be back in Hawkins, and it was funny, and it was a really good time. I believe it premieres in just a few November 26th. So yeah, just a few days. Other than that, I've rewatched Shoresy yet again. If you're not familiar with Shoresy,
oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Man, I love it. It's if you're not into hockey or if you're not Canadian, a lot of people are saying it can be tough to get into. I'm not into hockey, nor am I Canadian, but I was able to just click the right Rubik's Cube in my brain, and I've loved the show since episode 1. There are currently 4 episodes.
I loved Letterkenny, so...
Oh, if you love Letterkenny, you're going to love Shoresy.
Yeah.
There's 4 seasons already available on Hulu. Each season is only 6 episodes, so you can burn through it super quick. And then other than that, keeping up with HBO's The Chair Company, starring Tim Robinson. And
very talented man.
HBO's Welcome to Derry has been pretty fun, very gruesome, but pretty fun so far. But yeah, Chair Company.
Steve, now I know you can't spoil anything about Stranger Things, so you don't have to answer me.
Okay.
But was it weird after this much time that the opening scene of the first episode is all of the Stranger Things kids collecting their Social Security checks?
Ray, that doesn't happen.
What? But they're so old now, assumedly.
They're still teens. It's fine. They're teens.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right.
I got more to talk about here. I'm playing a video game. I'm finally playing video games. I'm so happy about this. A game came into my life that I said I have to try that. It's called Dispatch. And Dispatch is from the studio, a bunch of the people who used to make the Telltale games. The Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, Tales from the Borderlands, Game of Thrones. All of those are excellent. highly, highly recommended. This is a story-based game with a little bit more gameplay elements to it, but feels a lot like a Telltale game in which you play. Aaron Paul is the star. Speaking of Breaking Bad,
Wow.
and he plays
Nice.
a washed-up young superhero who relied on his super suit that no longer works, and so they have him working as a dispatcher for a supervillain team that is trying to reform, and he has to take the characters from the team and send them out into the city to like do missions, and he has to pair up the skills with what the missions need. And there's a whole bunch of stuff, and it's very chaotic, and it happens all at the same time. You level them up, then you have like
Cool.
basically like a television program that you make decisions throughout of like what you say, what you do, and then you do another dispatch thing, towards the end of the episode. That I played through 4, I believe, of the 10 episodes that are out, and I definitely recommend it. I'm having a very good time with it. It's very funny. It feels a little bit like Invincible, like stylistically and visually,
Gotcha.
the cartoon show, and it's very good. And it feels a lot like Invincible as well. The characters are all very interesting. And I should also point out the voice cast is the Critical Role people, who are the voice actors who play Dungeons and Dragons, and they're all phenomenal.
Cool.
And so you're going to recognize a bunch of the names if you follow any of this stuff. And every single person is great. There are no stiffs in this voice cast. Everybody is great. How I'm not in the game? I mean, what are we doing here? Just pointing out, I'm there for Dispatch Season 2.
Life is unfair.
I'm available.
Snort says Delvin had good things to say about that game. So,
well, he should, because Delvin knows what he's talking about.
All right.
What else are you watching there, Sam?
Yeah, so my wife and I went from the trilogy to, we did a double feature. We rewatched the original Hot Tub Time Machine, and we had never seen the sequel, so we watched that.
Man.
Yeah, that one the kids were not allowed to watch because, oh, good God.
That's much like Sopranos, adult.
Yeah. Also, you couldn't have Breaking Bad without Hot Tub Time Machine 2, I think. I think that's
I've heard that.
accurate.
Actually,
Much
I've heard
like
it's Better
Sopranos.
Call
No,
Saul.
right.
You can't have Better Call Saul without.
Yeah, that's accurate. That's pretty good.
Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
Snort says those are funny movies. Yeah, they were a good time.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
Really?
Not even the first one?
No, I don't. I think it just escaped me. I don't watch a lot of comedy movies. If I could be real with you, having
neither do I.
done comedy for so long and done sketch and writing and all that stuff and improvisation and being in not movies. I'm not in movies. What are we talking about? But being in people's YouTube videos and anything I could possibly be in. I just don't find myself in a place to watch a lot of comedy. That's why I think you should leave when I did check that out. It was like a breath of fresh air, because I do love sketch comedy still. I'll watch the heck out of that, especially if it stars one Steve Moulton.
What?
There you go. There you go.
Hey, he's on the show.
Me?
Yeah, all right. We should get that guy back. But yeah, no, those Hot Tub Time Machines, it's a really good, fun cast. I mean, Rob Corddry is just like, he'll do anything for the laugh. And then you have John Cusack and Craig Robinson. Chevy Chase is in there a little bit. Crispin Glover's in there. What's her name from Community shows up in the second one. Oh, what the hell's her name? Oh, I'm killing myself.
Allison Brie?
No. The curly-haired blonde one.
Gillian Jacobs?
That's all I knew.
Jillian Jacobs, yes.
There you go. Very nice.
Yeah, it's a really good time. If you've got nothing better going on and you're like, I don't want to watch any more serious movies, there you go.
That's fair. Steve, is there anything else you're watching out there?
Holiday recommendation?
Yeah.
Please do.
You're going to think this is crazy. But if you find yourself in a position where you're forced to watch A Very Jonas Christmas on Disney Plus.
What?
It's not that bad. And there is a bit where
that's a ringing endorsement.
I won't spoil much.
It's not that bad.
I won't spoil much. But
please don't.
There is a bit where they've got to ask for help from an old friend named Ethan. And from that point on, the movie does pick up, and the Ethan segment is probably the funniest thing, and it is really quite hilarious. So, if you got to watch A Very Jonas Christmas, you're going to be okay. You're going to make it through. I promise.
See, I wasn't planning on watching A Very Jonas Christmas this year, but now I have to.
79.
I'm very upset.
All right.
That's very doable.
But yeah, the Ethan scene saves it.
When the Ethan scene starts, if you put on Dark Side of the Moon, I think I heard good things.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know, I do have one
Gets
more
better.
I would talk about here.
Me
Well,
too.
first off, we need your support from an outside project. If you have kids, you know, younger, say
yeah.
like elementary school to middle school, you gotta watch this new YouTube channel that features my wife. It's called Who Wants to Do Some Math with Ms. Oki?
Cool.
And yeah, and I am in a bunch of these sketches that have come out, but also yet to come out. And
That's
this
true
is
as
a
well.
new channel. She's just putting this out. She wants to do math-based comedy. It's like sketch comedy, but like kind of skewed a little bit younger. And they do deal with some like math stuff. So it's sort of like a tutoring session and an entertainment session all at the same time. They're very watchable videos, and I'm hilarious in a few of them. And so if you're a fan of this show and you want to support, please go over to youtube.com's, you know the one, and look for Who Wants to Do Some Math. And then her channel will pop up right away. Give her a subscribe, like a few of the videos, give it a watch, see what you like, commenting, all the stuff that you guys at home might not know how much that helps on every level. If you just go in, watch a video, like it, post a comment saying that you liked it, you have done more for that channel than like you ever could possibly know.
All right.
So
Well,
go to at Who Would Win Masters and then go to Who Wants to Do Some Math. Do them both.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you have kids, legitimately, let those kids watch that.
Yeah.
Or if you know people who teach math to kids, send those videos to those math teachers.
Yes.
And I'm not just saying that because, you know, I'm here with Ray. I'm actually editing a lot of those videos as well. And
Yes, he is.
I have a little sneak peek, not sneak peek, but a little tip. This week's episode that'll be dropping probably Friday is by far the
Sometime this
funniest one. And like as an adult, I was like, God, this is so funny.
Nice.
Like the jokes are so fast, and it's got like a little bit of that Abbott Costello kind of thing going on. This particular one. So yeah, I would check that out later this week as well.
I don't remember which one's coming out, so I'm excited by this.
Yeah, I'm not going to say.
That's great. So check it out. Yeah, give her some subscribe, some comments. Saying
I did not.
if you could really be doing me a huge solid if you went in the comment section and commented, love the video, heard about it on the Who Would Win Masters show. You cannot understand what positive things that will do in my household. Please go do that. I'm not even kidding. That would be awesome.
Also, you should write, man, the editing on this is super sick.
You could put that too.
Just
I
put
like
that in there.
Absolutely.
All right, I have
All
one
right,
left.
One more, and then
real
we're going to
quick.
get out of
This
here, we
is-
promise.
I saved the best for last. I saw a movie. My wife and I were just kind of at a loss for what to watch, and we just came across this. I believe it was on Hulu, and it's called The Wrath of Becky. Has anybody? No,
No, I
neither
don't
of
know
you?
this.
Becky,
Okay.
no.
It's a great name.
It is like an action horror movie, and it's kind of got like a Tucker and Dale versus Evil sense of like
Love that
humor
movie.
going on. It's not supernatural, but it's got that thing, right? It's follows the hero who is Becky, who is this underage, like, 16-year-old waitress who is wronged by some skinheads, basically, and Avenging
Yes.
Angel style goes after them. Now, we didn't realize this until we had watched more than half the movie. It is actually a sequel to a movie called Becky, which we have not seen, but that did not stop us from thoroughly enjoying it. It is super well done, and I'm definitely going to go watch the Becky movie if I can find it. It's got sort of like a comic book feel to it. I checked. It is not actually a comic book. It is just these two movies.
Cool.
But yeah, highly recommend it. And it's got Stifler from American Pie as one of the bad guys.
What doesn't?
Sean
Yeah.
William Scott.
Yes, Sean Williams.
Isn't
Very talented.
Kevin James in the first one, I think? The King of Queens? I think he's in the first Becky, but maybe the second.
Maybe. I'd have to pull it up. and
Now,
see.
how does this relate to the very famous song by Sir Mix-a-Lot, where they're referring to Derrieres?
right.
Is Becky from that intro?
That's right.
I-
Is that the same Becky?
The woman in the
I don't
intro is
know.
talking to a Becky.
Seems unlikely because, again, we are talking about someone who is like 16. So that's a little inappropriate. Yes.
Well, we did watch Hot Tub Time Machine.
True.
That
She
is
could have
more
gone into a time
inappropriate,
machine
probably.
in the 90s
Yeah.
and then come back up here. I don't know. I don't judge people who use time machines.
No, that's fair.
But in case
And
I
you
forgot
should.
to say it, don't let your kids watch Shoresy if they're like under 18.
All
you
right,
go.
yes,
Rated R.
in the Becky movie, the original Becky movie, Kevin James and Joel McHale are
All
both
right.
in that.
How about that?
Yeah, look at that.
Very talented people.
There you have it.
Well, Sam, why don't you go ahead and give up our socials one more time? They should check out our Instagram, our YouTube, all of the above,
Yeah.
and we got to get out of here before we hit critical mass on this episode.
That's right. Find us on our new Instagram, instagram.com/whowouldwinmasters, and our new YouTube. Please go subscribe to that at youtube.com/@whowouldwinmasters. We'll see if we can get
Fine.
rid of the at in the future. Google gonna Google.
Sam, hold on a sec. Before we go
Oh.
any further, Matthew Doss is right. He knows the format of this show better than we do.
My God, what
He
did we
wants
miss?
to know what the next battle is. We do know what the next
Nice.
battle is next week. We get it. This is one of our more interesting battles I think we've ever done. We're trying to go a little outside the box with what we're doing.
That's right.
So, what we have here is Smaug from the Hobbit movie, from the Lord of the Rings universe, versus Airwolf, the famed attack helicopter from the 1980s television show of the same name. And our guest will, in fact, be Kevin Israel, formerly of the Gutting the Sacred Cow podcast. That is the next episode. Sorry for leaving y'all hanging there.
Yeah.
I
That's
love
right.
it. Smaug versus
Airwolf versus Smaug. Let's go.
Pretty
Awesome.
cool. Pretty cool. I'm excited to get into vehicles. I want to do a future episode with Serenity. So if anyone has a 1v1
interesting.
for Serenity of Firefly, let me know what seems
Wow.
like a viable matchup. Because you got to appeal to
Herbie the
Firefly
Love
fans.
Bug.
All right, Harvey the Love Bug. Yeah. All righty. I don't think he does well in space. I mean, he could go up against that Tesla that's floating out there, right? Gang, thanks so much for listening, and join us for that battle episode next week. And keep these comments coming, keep the reviews coming. Hit us up on the Instagram and the YouTube, as we've said so many times already. And if you want to join us for future shows, future live wrap-up episodes, make sure to join patreon.com/whowouldwinshow and jump into the chat when you get the live link. And if you think I'm not having a stroke, you're not paying attention. If you think you've got what it takes to be a part of Who Would Win Masters, record a 1-minute video demo of yourself and send it to whowouldwinshow@gmail. We have a new
No, we have a new
Gmail
email
account.
we could use.
We do. We have whowouldwinmasters@gmail.com. Send it there.
Who knew?
Who? We did. And in fact, anyone who's starting an anything at Ray's house, apparently it has to start with who anyway, so you're halfway there. All right.
You're right.
So who knows? We might see you in the Challenger's chair in the future for Who Would Win Masters. This is Sam Proof. Stay strong. We did it. Wait.